Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Friday, guys. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Friday, guys. So I told you guys on Friday, typically I pull more of the light emails, light in comparison to my normal deep spiritual topics. But I have an email from a good brother, and then as well as one of our good sis. So sis basically wanted to know, or wanted me to elaborate on why are men saying that they need peace, and what does that have to do with us, especially when they're causing the chaos. Some, and next, my good brother, he wants women to understand that it is not as easy for men to approach a woman as we think, especially if the man is more shy. He's been maybe hurt before, dealing with some insecurities. And what are some tips as a woman that I can give him where he can uh, approach someone that he has a crush on? All right, first thing, good sis. Here's the thing. I think one thing that is very important for women to do is, if you're really trying to understand the mind of a man, you have to listen to men. A man, all caps, not just any male figure. A man, a proven masculine, traditional, in my opinion, traditional mindset type of man who's going to give you the truth, but there's no ulterior motive. These can look like brothers, uncles, or just, just men in your life in general, who are proven. I think what a lot of women do is they tend to go to other women wanting to understand what men needs, how men thinks, and that's backwards because it's almost like that's like us expecting them to think like how we think. They don't think like us, obviously. They don't think like us. We're wired differently. We're more emotional, we're more emotional, they're more logical. So we don't think alike. So in saying that men need peace the same way, equivalent to the way we need to feel safe. Crazy part about it is they work hand in hand, because if we don't feel safe, then we can't give them peace. So this goes back to, you have to be wise on the type of man that you're choosing, because most, no, well, I don't know, I was going to say most, but a lot of men are not healed for whatever reason. These could be childhood traumas, these could be a broken heart from somebody he really was digging, this can be just whatever, but he's not healed. And so he's doing things that is in contrast to what a proven man does. He doesn't keep his word. You can't trust him, right? He's cheating, or he's lying, and all this other nonsense. He's not listening. He's not hearing what it is that you need. Instead, he's shutting you down. So all of these different things can happen when you're dealing with a toxic man. So in my opinion, it's almost, well, it is impossible to give a man peace, or to be that peace, when he's not setting that environment. Well, you guys need to set the environment for each other, but if that environment is not set that you can trust him and you can really rely on him, it's almost impossible to make a home peaceful. So my opinion there is, versus keep attacking men or going back and forth with, well, in order to get peace, you got to do this, you got, just level up the playing field. Find you a man who is already healed and whole, where it's not bringing out that survivor mode side for you. It's a game changer. There's just no way in the world a toxic man can have a woman to submit in some cases, if that's your thing, or to just chill out and give him peace. Now, granted, it's always exception to the rules, meaning some men like chaos and drama because they're chaotic. They're unhealed. So you're not giving him peace is not, it may be aggravating his nerves, but he can tune it out more. Where a man who is a certain caliber of man and he really got his life together and he's involved in purpose and calling and he's a very hard worker, he has to have peace. In fact, you should be his peace, because let's just say he works, I don't know, 12 hours per day, right? And work is stressful, and it's like you just want to come home or just relax in a peaceful place. Who's gonna leave stress and go to stress? It makes no sense. And I know a lot of us were taught that, but it was not the proper way. So we can sit here all day long and say, as women as well, I don't know anything different. I was taught that, right? So it may be your default setting. It may be conditioning. But if God is bringing it back to or bringing it up to your spirit, or if God is placing all of a sudden happy marriages, wholesome happy marriages and relationships in your presence, God is probably nudging you to say, hey, I know you didn't have a great example, right? A lot of people didn't. But I'm bringing somebody in your path, right? Think about it. You never seen a happy marriage all your life. Now, all of a sudden, every person you meet, your coworker, this, and that, I'm putting happy, peaceful marriages in your face. So you can't use the excuse any longer as I don't know what it is. I never saw it. I'm giving you the examples. Are you going to tap into it and realize what I'm doing? Because I can't send anything that's from me, meaning God, if you're not healed and whole. So the issue at hand is really not about what the man is doing. It is, but it's not. It's about accountability on the type of man you are allowing into your life. That doesn't look like you don't address things, because nothing is perfect. It's about knowing the right time, right? And it may not be when you just turn the key and getting home from work, right? That can look like delivery and tone. That can look like I like, personally, my opinion, it's just my stuff, right? Meeting of the minds, even if it's only once a week, right? At the table, no cell phones, right? Bring your notes from bring a notepad, whatever you done jot down through the week that I got an issue with, or you got an issue, I done got on your nerves because I was talking too much, or you got on my nerves because whatever, right? So you're getting it out, you're releasing it, but you're writing it down. And so when you have your meeting of the minds, you address these things at the proper time. And then you're also listening to understand, right? And then you're not being offended because they may have a concern with you, right? Please pray first with that, because like, Lord, please give me some grace over this sensitivity, because I might just, don't try me, sir. So yes, sis, peace is, well, first of all, I think peace should be a requirement for all of us. Like me, listen, I already have a very stressful life in general, right? A very heavy life. Not complaining, thank you, Lord. But you're not about to stress me out. You're not about to stress me out. Now, years ago, I could have dealt with people stressing me out because I just wasn't in that mindset where I guess I wasn't elevated enough, or I didn't have enough things to steward that allowed me to, I guess, have that space to let people stress me out. Now, listen, when you just don't have the capacity to have people stress you out. Like, I ain't got time, right? But yeah, peace is needed. But I do agree that their actions, as you stated, contradicts what they need. But you can't keep playing that ping pong game. You got to change the type of man you're dealing with, because the type of man that if you choose the right kind, he's going to set that environment so it could be peaceful, so you can trust him, so you can feel safe and secure. So that's my thoughts on that. And thank you for your email and trusting me with my opinion. Next, what's another? Oh my good bro. Okay, so basically, again, he feels like women are clueless. Some are clueless to the point that it's not easy for men to muster up the strength to approach a woman, as well as some tips on how to let a woman know that you're interested, to kind of just soothe things out, right? For lack of better words. First thing first, my good bro. Always, all caps. Always, always, always be yourself. Right? Don't try to be something that you're not. For different reasons. For one, you want somebody to like you for you, right? Not the mask that you're bringing to the forefront, right? There, because if that's not you, you're going to have to play this character throughout the duration of the relationship or the marriage or whatever you got going on. So you want to present your true, authentic self. Also, people who are tapped in, right, which probably is not even a lot of people in this crazy world, right? Crazy people in this beautiful world, they're going to feel through your authenticity. People also feel through your spirit. So just be yourself, because you're enough. Anything that God has for you, it's for you. So you don't have to try to, be a different person or whatever. Flaws and all. We're human. We all got our stuff. Seriously. We all have our stuff. So present yourself exactly who you are, because you're already enough. I would say a few tips. Definitely don't do too much. Meaning, let's just say you met her yesterday. You know absolutely nothing about her. You met her at the Publix grocery store. She gave you her number, right? And this is 8 a.m. yesterday. And you've already called her 16 times with missed calls. I have a flashback. This happened to me one time. I always have a flashback. This happened to me one time before. I promise you, it was the most insane thing. So I met this gentleman years ago, and I gave him my number. But again, I'm very busy at times. I work a lot. And I answered the phone one time that day, just to kind of, say, hey, didn't want him to think I gave him the wrong number. So I answered the phone. But I already knew I had a busy day. And throughout that day, I had so many missed calls. So first of all, it was a red flag, right? So don't do too much, sir, because that's a turnoff. Like, seriously. When I did call him back, I was like, hey, I'm sorry I missed your call. I was at work. See, this is the problem right now. Y'all women play too much, and you probably got a man. That's why I don't like beautiful women. Beautiful women this and beautiful. I ain't got time for it. Oh, my, sir. Oh, no. That ain't happening, right? So, of course, just because some people you got to kind of inch away from, because you don't want them to have like a trauma trigger of rejection, I guess, and like come look for you or something. He didn't know me, but whatever. But I just left that alone right there. Don't do too much. If you meet her, right, you really don't know anything about her life. I was going to say obviously she's not married, but nowadays who knows? But she could still have other men currently in her life. She could be dating. You met her 5 hours ago. So she had a whole life prior to you 5 hours ago. So don't do too much. I think people go wrong, in my opinion, with trying to put labels on too quickly. It's like you met somebody last week and you're already saying, what are we doing? Like, you going to be my girl or not? You going to be my girl or I'm going to... Like, just chill. Just chill. Let things go and flow naturally. Like, just be yourself. Have fun without trying to apply labels. Just have a great time, because when it connects, and it goes without saying. Like, now the next conversation is, like, girl, I'm feeling you. Listen, I ain't about to let nobody, so that's kind of, but just chill, because it's a major turn off when men, or anybody, but in this case, men are just doing too much when they just met you and now they're blowing your phone up, calling you on FaceTime. I met you 5 hours ago. Why are you calling me on FaceTime? Okay. First of all, this would change the game. Let me just tell you, it is the most attractive things to me. Your approach, right? Your approach. It's not all that, girl, you're fine, girl, you're thick, all this nonsense, right? But just that respectful approach. How are you, right? What's your name? How are you doing? That type of thing. So you're not doing too much in the flesh, even though men are visual. Your mind might be thinking all that nonsense, but it's your approach. It's very respectful. It's very subtle. So your approach is definitely will set you apart from just your average man who is just caught up in their flesh and their foolishness, right? With something else. You know, that, please, if any of my brothers are listening, I don't know what has happened to the art of just dating. Like, it's like people now, you can meet a person and the next conversation is like, well, can you come to my house or can I come to your house? You're not coming to, I've known you 5 minutes. Why are you coming to my house? Or why am I coming to your house? No. And granted, on the flip side, I do know that a lot of men also feel now like, well, listen, I just met you 5 minutes ago. I'm not about to spend no money on no date. Well, a date don't have to always be about money, right? You go to Starbucks. Well, I mean, that's still money. You go to Starbucks, have a coffee, talk over coffee, right? Meet at the park, something. I mean, you just not, okay, never mind. So that's a major turn off when I feel like people is trying to come into people's personal space and you've met them a day ago. So ask her on a nice date. Again, a date doesn't have to be money, right? It is what it is, whatever you choose, but a date. Just let her know. You know, I think men, a lot were taught not to really express themselves because it makes them look like this or whatever, or men shouldn't be sensitive or communicate, all this nonsense. And I'm sure also these soulless women doesn't make it easier nowadays, where men have to like really kind of peel back on how they really feel. But I think expressing how you truly feel, not in the sense of just going overboard with it, but like, listen, I'm feeling you, period. Right? Because we need to know, right? First of all, we already know, well, from what whoever says what, but we already know we can't do the pursuing, right? We create the space. We done smile 1,000 times. We done wink our eyes 1,000 times. What else do you need, sir? Right? Okay. So just let her know, because the same way men are in their head about, I mean, is she really feeling me? Right? Am I enough? Right? What does she want? Does she want something from me? We're thinking the same thing. We're thinking the same thing. Right? Well, I mean, I've already created the space. Shoot your shot, dude. Like, seriously, right? So I think just letting her know how you feel, but being able to be real with it, but don't do too much. So finding that balance that you're feeling her, but then don't do too much. And I know that's probably a lot. Y'all probably say women are so complicated, right? Y'all are really the complicated ones, right? I know we got our stuff, but y'all complicated too now. What else is another tip? Be yourself. Let her know you're feeling her. Don't try to put labels on too soon. Nothing else is popping up in my spirit right now, but if it does, I will. Do not talk about your ex, because we don't get, well, I ain't gonna say we, but I'm sure some women do, right? I don't think anybody should be talking about their ex, especially if you just met the person. I think just a conversation, a natural thing of like, well, you know, what happened in your last relationship, right? So you can kind of realize or try to have an understanding that that last relationship wasn't 5 hours ago. Because we ain't got time. Your last relationship was 5 hours ago. You need to go heal, sir, because I ain't got time for that foolishness, right? Okay. But just to try to get an understanding, I guess, how, if there's even open space, if you will. But again, not overdoing it. Having that balance to kind of just figure out, like, all right, I mean, have you healed? Right? Have you had time to heal yet? Versus you're sitting here with me because you're trying to get over somebody. So, I don't know. Those are my thoughts from a woman's point of view. But just be yourself, bro. You are already enough. And hey, I mean, truth of the matter is, all she can say is yeah or nay. That's all she can say. And if she says nay, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. She may just be unavailable. Some people are just unavailable, and that doesn't even mean that they're always spoken for. It could just be you're emotionally unavailable, or you're tapped in the purpose of calling, and God just kind of needs all your attention at that time. So I think you can't take things so personal all the time. Like, well, she says no, or she shot me down. That means I'm this. No. You got to be so confident within yourself that, listen, I got choices, period. I got choices, period. But you got to know who you are. You got to know what you carry. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.